guess what? You guessed correct. Today is day 30 of Blade-1. I completed everything for the day today. So as long as I don't go anywhere else and I'm not late to wherever I go, which I'm not going anywhere else. As long as I'm not late anywhere else, I complete the Blade and I'm done. So because I'm not going anywhere else, then I feel totally okay checking off the box that I completed the program. Holy fucking shit, guys, it took me 11 tries. It took me 11 tries for this shit. If we go back to, what episode would that have been? Let's see. This would have been episode, started November 28th, I believe. I think. So let's go back and check. We're going to figure out which episode it was. So November 8th, 28th, that would have been, well, I guess I don't need to know. Let's check. Hold on. I think it was November. Pretty sure it was. Because I was supposed to start, that's what I was, because I was supposed to, yeah, it was for sure. Hold on. Oh, too far. November 10th, 17th, 24th. How I'm looking at this is literally, is literally on Spotify. 28th, let's see. So 28th. So what did I talk about in this? Part of the Blade tasks include role plays and punctuality. So I'm pretty sure it was this day. Was it 27th then? Ooh, pissed. Ooh, pissed. I scrolled all the way down, clicked on the episode, then clicked back, and it took me all the way back to today's date. Pissed. Oh, pissed. Let's search up Blade then, see what happens. Oh my, I want to search in the podcast itself. So what is it with Spotify and sucking ass in this regard? If you're on the computer, you can't search within a podcast. But if you're on your phone, you can. Why? Let me search. You know? The Bryson Everyday Project Blade. Podcast. Show me a fucking pod. Is everyday 2 words then? Oh, I guess it is. Well, the Bryson Everyday Project, this whole time it's been 2 words. Isn't everyday 1 word? Every day. Every day. Huh, I guess I'm retarded. Well, part of the legacy now. Let's look at my phone then. Let's be problem solvers here. Let's go. I just want to figure out what day I started this fucking thing, dude. Hold on. Okay, Blade. Search within the show. Blade. I'm typing Blade, not bladder. Blade. Okay, so November. Yeah, okay, fuck. Episode 406B was day 2 of Blade-1. So what did I talk about there? Can't even click the fucking thing. Oh, I didn't even put a thing for this one. So it'll be 406. I'm getting really upset. There was so much hype coming into this one, and now it's just all down the shitter. No, dude. No, so it was 405 then, because that was day. That's what it was. Committed to Blade system tasks for 30 days. Purge all the crucible and rigor. Practicing sale calls, growth, skill building. This is before I got creative with ChatGPT and summarized it in a sentence rather than bullets. But anyway, yeah, so guys, today is March 19th, 2025. I started this 30-day cycle on November 27th, 2024, meaning I should have completed this on December 27th, or I guess technically the 26th of 2024, which means that I, in theory, I should have started Blade 2 on the 26th of December and finished it around the end of January, which means I should have started Blade 3 and finished it at the end of February, which means I should be mid-Blade 4 and finish that here in about 10 days. So I should be day 20 of Blade 4, but I'm not. I'm on Blade 1. I just finished Blade 1. And the reason, so I'm going to talk, that's what I'm going to talk about today. Fuck it. So also another thing that's pretty notable here is I already did the role play. Everything's done for the day. It's 6:30 p.m. Usually I'm recording this at 8 o'clock and I'm pissed that I'm not going to bed on time. So with that being said, let's talk about how the blade went. All right, so my 4 tasks that I did, which, first of all, if you want to get the Blade system, it's free. It's on episode 3 of the Allegiant Excellence podcast. It's 100% free. You can also send me a DM. I'll send you the PDF for free. You can also go to my Instagram. It's in the highlights tab. It's for free. And it's a whole ebook. It tells you exactly how to do everything the podcast does as well. But anyway, so my 4 tasks were for my oath, which is something that you add into your life to better yourself in some way or another, it was to do a role play, because I wanted to get better and practice with role playing and the scripts and the sales process and all that stuff. So because I'm 110 days since starting the Blade for the first time. Well, let's see. So December, January, February. Well, more than that. I'm about 150 days. Siri, how many days ago was November 27th, 2025? 4. Fuck. I fucked up. 112 days ago. Okay, no. 112 days ago, and there was probably a span of 2 or 3 weeks where I didn't do anything for the Blade, so that's about 100 days, so ish. So 100 days of doing the following: being on time everywhere I go, not being a second late. If I say I'm going to be there at 5 o'clock, then I have to be there at 5. The minute it strikes, or the second it strikes 5:01 and I'm not there, I failed. Then we have, so I wasn't late anywhere, ever, except I failed that a few times, which is frustrating. There's nothing shittier than driving somewhere and on your way knowing that you're not going to be there on time, and then also accepting the fact that you're going to have to restart. It's a very shitty feeling, but it makes me want to get my shit together and be on time more. So that was my oath. So my purge was, I'm so sorry. That was my purge. I can't be late anywhere. My oath was the role play. So I did about 100 role plays during all this. So I've ran through the script. I've changed it. So here's the rules. So when I did the role play, it wasn't just role play and then stop. It was do the role play from start to finish. So I have to start from, hey, how's it going? What's up? Let's finish all the way to the end of the phone call. And so many times during this, I wanted to compromise and say, I'm just going to do the objections because that's what I need the most help with. I don't need help just reading off a script and asking them about their fitness and nutrition. There's so many times I wanted to compromise and not do it. I wouldn't ever let myself, but the thoughts were there. Then I had to write down 1 thing that I did very well and then 2 things that I needed to improve on, and that was that. Also, then I had to change the script a little bit, tweak it. So there was over 100 different iterations I made to the script to match my flow of communication and what I would say, how I would say it. And then I have all the quote journaling of this role plays and how I did, what I can work on, how I can improve. And then we just have me running through the whole script 100 times. And that gave me so much practice, 100%. However, that was I started to dread it because it was so bland doing it with ChatGPT. And again, could have done it with people. That's part of the rules I could have, but I don't have time to do both. I don't want to be the prospect and also the coach on a call because I actually have episodes of me doing it. You can type in, actually, if you're on your phone, you can type in, but it's with Kevin. And then we have one with JC or Travis. I think that's both his names, but you can type that in, role play with Kevin or Travis or JC. And I did those live, and it seems like when I do these, it's like an hour and a half long. So I'm the coach, and then we flip it. So I'm the prospect, and then we kind of discuss back and forth how we can both improve. Now, for the sake of education and improving, that's the way to go. But to dedicate an hour and a half every day to this thing, no way. So when I'm doing the role plays by myself, it's usually 20 to 30 minutes. And then as soon as the call's over, I'm done. I don't got to say, hey, thanks, bro, appreciate it. I can, So it was very bland. Didn't look forward to it ever. But, most of the time I kept in the back of my mind, if this is the money maker right here. This is how the money is made. I post on social media, here's a program, let's get started. They book a call with me, I talk to them about it, and then I say, hey, the program is right now $750 for 4 months. You can do that or you can go monthly. If I just did that, again, these are very great numbers, I would say. But let's say I had 3 calls every day for a whole month, and I signed 1 per day. So 33% close rate. Now, I don't still learning a lot about sales, but I believe that 1 in 3 closing rate is fucking great. So if that's the case, if they all paid month to month, that's 250 times 30, which would be $7,500 on repeat monthly. So by the end of week 4, I'd be sitting at 30 grand recurring revenue if I just kept that pace up. If they all paid in full, it would be a little bit less than that, because 750 times 30 would be 21, I don't know what that would be. 1,030. Wait, what am I talking about? 30,000. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be a little bit less than that because it's a discount. But I would keep in mind, this is how the money's made. This is what makes the dollars. Once I get them to commit over the phone, that's where the money is. That's where the reinforcement for me comes, because all it takes for me right now is 20 clients at $250 a month to quit my job. Now, I'm realizing that's one hefty goal, and I'll get there. I'm not worried about getting there, but I am so concerned about getting there quicker than not. But my actions don't reflect my desires, so therefore, I'm full of myself, I guess. I'm full of shit. Not full of myself. I'm full of shit. But anyway, so I did the role play for about 100 days, I guess. 30 days straight for the last. By the way, if you don't know, the Blade is just this framework I created. You pick these tasks, you do them for 30 days straight. Once you commit, you cannot change it no matter what. You must see it through. You must have the rules. There's no compromise. Be a man of integrity. Do the shit right. No one's going to know and or care if you don't or do it. So do. So I that's where I'm at. So anyway, that's the role plays. That's the not being late anywhere. Now my crucible was that I had to get out of bed at 5 a.m. every single day, no matter what. No matter what. And if I had to work that day, even if it was for, and I'm not even exaggerating, even if it was for 10 minutes, if I had to go to work at any point during the day, no matter if it was at the very end of the day, no matter if it was for 1 hour, no matter, I'm not even bullshit, if it was for 3 minutes, if I had to go into work, I had to wake up at 3:50. If I didn't have work, if it was scheduled off, or I called out the day before, not the day of, then I was cleared to go or to wake up at 5 or to get out of bed at 5. If I was in bed at 5 o'clock and I was still in bed at 5:01, I failed and I had to restart. And that happened about 3 times. There was one time, and I even shared it on this on an episode here, but I got out of bed and I had the walk of shame, and I didn't look at my phone's clock on purpose because I thought, oh shit. I think this is when I was on day 11, so I was very upset, or day 12 or something like that. But I grabbed my phone, walked into the bathroom, and I looked down at the clock, and it says 3:52 or something like that. Now, the walk from my bed to my bathroom is 12 seconds, not 2 minutes. And so I thought, no way. There's no way that I can move forward with this program and believe that I did it, because I'd be like, oh, there's that one day. I just don't know. And that's proof that I did everything right. I was a man of integrity through the whole entire program. I was honest with my work and how I did the entire program. And so that feels fucking good. But that's what I did. So I was for 30 days straight. Now, am I still going to do, and then there's the rigor. The rigor is just a small daily, tiny detail that you do every day. It could take 2 seconds to do. It could take as long as an hour. It's all up to you. A lot of the ones that I did were picking up trash and litter, cleaning shit around toilets in the bathroom, like actually cleaning a public restroom, picking up all the trash in a public restroom. It's a very gross thing to do, but it's something that I don't want to do, but I feel that reinforcement from, and that it counts as a rigor. I've held the door open for people. I've sent some family some money and said, hey, coffee's on me, I love you. I've sent some thoughtful text messages to other family members and friends, like, hey, XYZ happened, blah, 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 thinking of you. I want to let you know I love you. Called a few people. What else did I do? I think I've done other miscellaneous things, but it's just one small, tiny, itty bitty detail that you wouldn't otherwise do, but because you're paying attention to the details, you then do it. That's the idea. So anyway, these 4 things, and you don't commit to it, by the way, that rigor, you just do whatever every day. Different. There's no restrictions on what you do or how you do it. It's just that you do it. So anyway, completed these 30 days in a row as of today. Now, am I going to continue doing any of these? And if so, why? If not, why not? So with the rigor, I think it's just part of me now because I've been doing it for damn near 4 straight months. But I just see shit and pick it up. I'll return shopping carts. I'll pick up trash in a parking lot. I'll put items back in a grocery store that don't belong where they go. I just feel obligated to do that because I see the problem, I see how to fix it, and I'm there to address it. If I willfully ignore it, I'm part of the problem that is the reason why the world is the way it is. So it doesn't cross my mind anymore of like, should I go over there and grab it? It's like, okay, well, there's a shopping cart over there. I'll go get it. And fuck you if you say that the shopping cart's over there. It's for the grocery attendant. That's their job. Dude, be a fucking human being with some standards here, you know? God damn, dude, I hate that more than anything. No, it's a shopping cart attendant's job. That's what they're supposed to do. I can leave my cart wherever I want. You're a piece of shit, dude. Put the fucking thing back. Ooh, that's one thing that gets me bothered. Anyway, with the role play, I'm not going to stop forever. I'm definitely going to do it in the future. I might even reincorporate it into a Blade, but change it up a little bit. So I have to handle, 10 objections rather than one full length role play. And then I think that would sharpen the blade for me quite a bit, pun intended there. And I'd like to actually do this face to face with like Lexi or something like that because I don't want to, because I think that's cringy and awkward. And so that's the reason why I would want to, because I want to just keep on escaping the comfort zone and feeling comfortable with where I'm at. You know what I mean? So in the future, that'll happen for sure. So that's the role play. And I actually don't mind doing it, but doing the whole entire thing every time, that was kind of what was getting me bothered. What I really wanted to do most of the time was to type in an objection and then activate voice mode so that it would hit me with that, and then I could work on overcoming it. That's what I wanted to do. That gets me more excited than running a whole role play. But anyway, so role play in the future, absolutely. Now with not being late anywhere, of course, I'm going to try to hold myself to that standard everywhere I go because I think that's what everybody at all times should always do. Be on time. If you say you're going to be somewhere, then be there. If not, then whatever. But if I'm going to hold myself to that standard, I would also want to hold others to that standard. And the problem with that is that's not received well ever. Because, for example, there's been a handful of times where the family and I have plans to do whatever, or the whole family's meeting at my grandma's or whatever. And especially if it's something that I planned with another family member, there's been times where I get there and then they show up 10 minutes late, and on paper, not a big deal. They're 10 minutes late. It's fine. They show up, they'll be all right. We can still continue the activity. But to prove a point, but to hold the standard and make it clear what I'm about, I've wanted to just leave and go back home. And if they flip a fit and say, "Oh, what the fuck? You can't wait 10 minutes. That's bullshit. Well, I was just late, blah, blah, blah." I would say, I totally understand. However, my time is valuable, just as yours is. And the difference here is I respect mine. And then go home. And I've thought about doing that so much, but I don't believe that it would come across the way that I want it to. It would definitely come across as me being rude, inconsiderate, selfish, whatever. And it's just not something I want to deal with. So maybe I'll do that in the future, but the fuck is this? Oh. So yeah, that's the purge there. Can't be late anywhere. Which I feel like I almost did the purge wrong. It's like you're removing something from your life, taking something out that doesn't serve you, which, being late doesn't serve me, doesn't make me better. So if I remove that behavior for my life. So I guess it counts. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure how you do it. And then for the crucible, it was getting up out of bed on time. Now, am I still going to do that? 100%, because my days were a lot better when I got the fuck out of bed. I talked about it yesterday, I believe, but if I am in bed and my alarm goes off and I snooze it, I'm already starting the day off with some pussy shit, with me willfully just putting a warm, cozy bed over all my goals, all my ambitions, all the fun trips I have planned for the family, all the wonderful things I'd like to purchase for my mom, for Lexi, for my brother, all the fun trips to different amusement parks with my future kids. I'm putting all of that on the back burner because I want to be comfortable in my bed. And that, when I say it out loud, makes me feel like a ginormous piece of shit. Because if I can't get out of bed to go work for my future family, I don't think I deserve those things, period, no matter what else I do. If I can't get out of bed and go to work, I don't know. I just, no way. So still going to get out of bed on time. It's definitely something I'm committing to. So, but the thing is that I'm going to change there is if I want to not wake up at 5 a.m. and maybe I want to sleep until 6:30, I'm going to do that. If I want to wake up even earlier and do some, I will do that. If I want to call in the day of and then sleep in, I'm going to do that. But as far as having a consistent wake up time like that, it's going to change a little bit. There's been plenty of times where I've had the option to get plenty of sleep and feel energized and rested for the day. But because of the rule of the crucible here, I have to get up. And it's kind of shitty, but I don't know. It's one of those things that's so great and I love it. But then the other side of it is like, I'm just so fucking exhausted for the day. Is that really worth it? And get 3 hours extra in the morning, but then noon and on, I'm just tired. Is that worth it? I don't know. So anyway, that's what we got for Blade-1. So that's a little recap. It feels good. It feels very good to have completed it. And it's, again, just reflecting back, it's a very good feeling to know that I didn't want to start this last cycle when I did, but I did anyway. And here we are. And I'm just really trying to keep that frame of mind when I go and do other things. So if I really don't want to go live on Instagram, but I do it, if I do it every day for 100 days straight, whatever it is, then I'm sure by the end of it, a lot of good things will have happened. And I'll be so thankful that I did. I'll be so thankful that people always are like, yeah, I put $50 a paycheck away and now I'm 85 years old and that compounded into 5 million. I'm so glad I did that. I want that, but in every area of life, but I can't do that if I don't start. So there's that. I'm just very thankful that I started when I did. So anyway, so moving forward, the Blade cycle is definitely going to consist of a lot of social media shit because that's my weakness. That is the weakness that I have right now. Not feeling comfortable talking in front of people, not feeling comfortable talking to the camera at all, feeling like I'm too small to be on camera, like I'm an imposter. I don't practice what I preach. I'm a piece of shit. Too ugly, I'm too white, hair's looking stupid, clothes don't fit well, got man boobs, tummy. I really think these things always. And so it makes it really hard to want to do anything like this. And it sucks because, if I'm a fitness coach, a trainer, how the fuck can I do that if I don't feel like I know what I'm talking about, if I don't feel like I look good, if I don't feel, it's impossible. So with the theme of that, I'm still figuring this out. So I was going to start tomorrow, but what I'm for sure going to do is some amount of posting to social media daily. And I think that's going to be 3 times. And I'm talking about a post. I'm not talking about a story or a tweet or anything like that. I'm talking about a post. So the idea is to make 14 reels on one day and then, or something like that, and then make the rest in normal posts. Now I have ideas of how I can do that, and that might sound like a lot, but I'm more curious what would happen if I did this consistently for 30 days, because I'd have 90 new posts. I'd have 90 opportunities to be seen by somebody else, and hopefully someone likes what I have to say, likes what I post about, talk about, whatever, and they follow, and maybe in 2 months, they turn into a client. That's the goal. But more important than anything right now is just building that consistency and building that level of, so I'm trying to be uncomfortable to break out of the comfort zone, but building that level of comfort, getting on social media all the time, talking in front of the camera, in front of other people, saying what I think, and trying to teach someone something that I know through my words and my analogies and my metaphors and whatever, and doing that on a consistent basis. 30 days straight of that shit would, I'm sure, really change a lot for my mentality. At least that would be the hope. So the idea is, if I force myself to post 3 times a day on social, which is a shit ton, first of all, I know I can do it. I know I can. I can take a whole Saturday and some of Sunday, and then every other Fridays I can take some of that, and I can make content, no problem. Because the reason why I know this is true is because I recorded 7 podcasts in 2.5 hours, I believe, for the Allegiant Excellence podcast, and I haven't made one since, which is funny. But I made 7 in 2.5 hours. And obviously that's audio and there's no editing involved. But if I can do that in 2.5 hours, I'm sure I can make triple that in 10 hours. And I'm sure that it would suck, and I'm sure some of it would be half-assed. But every time you would hop on Instagram, my shit would be there because I'm posting 3 times a day. People post 5 times a week. I'd be posting 21 times a week. If people post 20 times a month, I would get that done in 1 week. So I'd be going 3 times, well, I guess technically 4 times, 4.25 times, 4.2 the speed of everybody else, which I believe to be, I think that is a massive key right there. Not only that, for going faster than everybody else, and it's not about going faster than everybody else, it's about me getting that experience and all those repetitions in so fast that I learn, hopefully, what works, what doesn't work, do more of what does and less of what doesn't. So I'm pretty sure my oath is going to be something to do with that. Now here's the thing. So my crucible, which is the very hard task, I talked about making it so that I have to talk to Instagram and on my story, front-facing camera, I got to talk, whatever, and do that twice a day. But I feel like that should almost be part of the oath. So like this one big social media thing, this one big social media oath. So then that gets me thinking, well, what would the crucible be, the very hard task? And what would the purge be? What would I remove? And I'm really trying to keep this all focused in on business altogether. And what the fuck was I going to say? Just so you guys know, I almost paused and rewound so that I could figure out what I said so I didn't sound like a dumb and make that awkward pause, but now it's even more awkward. But whatever. Who gives a fuck? It's my show. If you don't like it, go listen to the Allegiant Excellence podcast. It's much better than this one. But yeah, I don't know what I would do, because something that keeps on surfacing is no gossiping, no talking shit, no complaining, period. The moment I catch myself is the moment I have to stop. If I don't catch myself, but then later on in the day I realize I fail, But it's hard to measure. It's hard to... Another idea I had, which if you've been listening to the show for a while, you'll know that this has been a long-term goal of mine. I just want to stop saying like. That's it. I'm so hyper aware of when people say it that it drives me fucking insane, and I don't want to be part of that. So I want to make sure that I don't, because I do it as well. I do it so much, and I don't want to do that. It sounds like shit, and I don't mean like as in he ran like a cheetah. That's not what I mean. I mean like like that. That's exactly what I mean. Don't want to say or What the fuck is on my leg, bro? Okay. And I think that would improve. That might even feed the ego, because I'd be in conversations and people would be like, and I would say, you fucking peasant. I'm so superior with my vocabulary, But I mean, the fact that I even had that thought, that's 100% what's going to happen. So I had that thought as well. Then I had the thought of no phone while I'm working. And I have to set a timer while I work but then I was like, would that be Would that be, what would that even, so that's the purge, but then what would the crucible be? What's very, very hard for me to do that relates to business? Very, very hard. Let's see what I even said. So I said, I have the hiccups on the fucking podcast. I'm upset. So we go to the crucible on the ebook that I wrote. Let's see what I wrote. Where the fuck is it? This is your crucible. All right. The crucible is doing something that is very difficult for you to do or not to do. Or not to do. This will drastically vary from person to person based on where you're at. The idea is to find something that you really, really don't want to do. No, I'm not cutting out. I'm hiccuping. Lexi and I have this joke because she makes fun of my hiccups. That when I hiccup, that I go like this. And I think it's very funny. So there's that. So the idea is to find something that you really, really do not want to do or are fearful of doing, something that creates so much friction for you that you really have to drag yourself through it 90% of the time. It doesn't have to be some gruesome hour-long task that requires intense focusing and control either. If we take a look at the dictionary definition, this is what it says for crucible. A vessel of a very refractory material used for melting and calcining a substance that requires a high degree of heat. A severe test. A place or situation in which concentrated forces interact to cause or influence change or development. So think of something in your life you know would make you more disciplined, more resilient, more enduring, smarter, wiser, or anything else related to self-development as a whole. This is not like the purge, and it is not like the oath. This is a step up from the two. This should be very difficult for you. Pro tip, think of things that seem simple, but then put those things into an environment that requires you to be very uncomfortable. Doing a bodyweight exercise routine in your private backyard or in your closed-off living room might be hard, but doing it in your front yard where all of your neighbors can see you might present a new challenge for you mentally. This is the point. The goal is to callous your mind and overcome deep-rooted fears. The task you choose should be something that is challenging and for the betterment of your life, not anyone else's. Your hard is not their hard, and vice versa. Here are a list of examples that you could choose if they fit you best. These are just an example. Think for yourself what would best benefit you. So we have ice bath, being first to speak in at class work, cold shower, posting stories or videos on social media. Wow. So I did write that. Outdoor workout, purposely trying to get rejected, which is the 100 Days of No challenge. That's pretty cool. Introducing yourself to a stranger, doing X activity in public, working out outdoors, X o'clock wake up time, going live on social media, cold calling X amount of people. Here's an example of the thought process you might have when choosing one of the above or whatever you want. I've always wanted to be able to say that I take cold showers, but I think that shit would suck. I'll commit now to taking a 3-minute cold shower on the lowest setting every day. Or something like, I am so insecure about what people think or say about me. I want to be free of all this and live without caring about that. I'm going to ask for 50% off discount with everything I buy. Not because I want a discount, but because the person I ask will more than likely look at me like I'm some entitled brat. It will be awkward and make me uncomfortable, but I want to get over this fear. Here's some examples. I will take a 5-minute ice bath, 39 degrees every day. I will ask a question to someone with the intent of being rejected. I will record myself talking in public to get over this fear. I will cold call 50 people per day to get over my fear of talking on the phone to prospects. I will work out every day at noon in my front yard, parking lot, patio deck, porch, and public views so I can get over my fears of people watching me or judging me. So with that being said, I got to pause and piss. Hold on. All right, well, I took a piss and then forgot that I was recording a show. So here we are an hour later. So what's up? I don't even know where I left off, but this is going to be one of those pause and rewinds. Hold on. Also realized that my microphone is not plugged in. So this whole time it's been shit audio. Bummer, dude. That's a bummer. Still have the mic to my face. I'm sitting here saying, oh, I don't have the mic plugged in as I adjust the mic to my mouth so you guys can hear me better. That's stupid, huh? Well, anyway, so the crucible, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to think about it. I really have no idea what I would do right now. The oath is going to be some form of consistency with social media. And, man, now that I'm trying to make it all about business, I think it's hard to do that because one thing you remove from your life, one thing you add to your life, and then one thing you either add or remove that's very hard for you to do or not to do. Now, I'd like to I'm just trying to obey the rules. Something that's very hard for me to do, to add into my life. Very hard. But I want it to pertain to business, so I have all that extra push to make this happen. What's something very hard that I don't want to do? I don't know. For business, what is something really hard I don't want to do? Something very hard that I don't want to do. I don't know. That's going to be something I think about. I'm really not sure. I'll think about it. I'll come up with something. We'll go from there. But anyway, that's the show. That's all I got for today. It's now 7:30. So, very cool. I will definitely be going to bed on time tonight because guess what I'm going to do as soon as I click finish recording? I'm going to go to bed. I don't care. I don't care what time. I'm going to bed. So anyway, guys, that's the show. Appreciate you listening. We did it. That was a successful Blade attempt. I think it's unofficial if it was attempt 11, but I failed so many fucking times. I do know it's at least 8. I do know that for certain. So we'll just call it 11. So now I'm on to Blade-2. Whenever that starts, I'll get it going, and then we'll go from there. So appreciate you guys listening. Thanks for the support. Thanks for sticking with me through Blade-1 and on to bigger and better. All right, peace out. That's it for today. If you got some sort of value or you were entertained, please consider leaving a rating on the platform that you're listening on. It helps a ton. If you are looking for a more polished version of this show, you can check out the Allegiant Excellence podcast, where I go deep into mindset, discipline, fitness, and personal development as a man. And don't forget to check out the links below and read the description. There are sometimes things written there that didn't quite make it on the episode. So thank you so much for your ongoing support in a guy that has massive ambition but nothing to show for it quite yet. And as always, thank you for taking time out of your day to listen and support. I'll see you tomorrow.